down there to all the way over there, and at several other points up the river, it seems like the whole horizon is on fire.
River, we witnessed thousands of exhausted Rohingya crossing from their blazing homeland for the purging of an unwanted people and their indiscriminate but systematic slaughter. Perpetrated by a country whose leader had been persecuted by past military regimes, now she's their apologist, accused of being an accessory to tyranny and terror.
It's her government that is responsible for this humanitarian catastrophe.
A textbook example of ethnic cleansing.
A version of what happened here is that it was the militants themselves who set fire to everything here, destroying facilities that were shared by Muslims and some Buddhists here. Now, we can't confirm that, we can't speak to anyone, the place is completely deserted. As we've driven here, we've seen village after village that's completely deserted, abandoned boats, abandoned livestock, rice fields left. The few villages where there are people, there are only Buddhists who've been left here, have talked of immense fear of their Muslim neighbours. The only Muslims we've spoken to are inside Mongdor town itself. They're also extremely scared. When we asked them, who are you most afraid of, they said the government. Well, we only got to see a few areas of Mongdor. The extent of the destruction was staggering, though, and most of them were Muslim villages. They call this place these fires. They've only just been lit. In fact, we bumped into the people who almost certainly lit them, carrying machetes, not wanting to talk, though one did admit, yes, they set these buildings alight with the help of the police, their ethnic Rakhine. This was a Muslim village. Now, the government has claimed that all of the village destruction is at the hands of Muslim militants and Rohingya inhabitants. What we've seen here tells us a very different story, a story of ethnic cleansing, of driving Muslims out of this part of Myanmar.
The camp of Kutupalong is going to be one of the world's biggest refugee camps very soon. It is a very old problem here in Bangladesh. In addition to the 500,000 or so Rohingya Muslims that have just crossed the border in the last month or so, there were already about 400,000 living in Bangladesh, and those Rohingya refugees don't have access to citizenship here. They don't have documentation. They are confined to older refugee camps, those refugee camps that are still continuing, of course, to exist. And aid organizations are facing a growing crisis. Not only do they need to provide for the new arrivals, but they need to continue providing for the older ones. Number of refugees, even though that we have heard from the UNHCR or the International Organization for Migration that they're expecting more, hundreds of thousands more Rohingya refugees to come, still...
Statelessness is a product of states, not the communities and people.
System, the government have incited it, the thugs are moving around. So particularly what I would like to highlight on Rohingya issue is this is systematic ethnic cleansing to get rid of Rohingya Muslims from Arakan.
So statelessness is the structural violence, and this is where the domestic, system.
Necessary to stop incitement and to stop violence, to address the issues of injustice and accountability and humanitarian access and citizenship.
Many women women are facing to deliver their babies. And it's been almost 1 year, there is no talk about 1982 Citizenship Law Amendment, and not talking about to return their original place. So this is a system to expel the people from their own villages and their towns. I mean,